Hey, we just got a call for a welfare check to make sure everybody in here's okay.
What's going on?
We got a call from Patricia, and you guys look fine to me. Are you guys okay?
Yeah. Why would she call?
I honestly, sir, I don't know. She just called and asked us to do this. You guys seem fine, so we'll get out of your hair.
I'm wondering why would she call?
On November 2nd, 2025, what dispatch logged as a routine domestic call would unfold into something far more complicated. Because here's what the responding officers didn't yet know: this wasn't a story with a clear villain and a clear victim. It was a story about an 81-year-old man with advanced dementia, an 80-year-old woman at her breaking point, and a system being asked to sort out in a single afternoon who exactly was responsible when one of the two people involved may not have understood what he was doing at all.
Oh, and think that we wasn't okay.
You would know it better than me.
We done split up. You know.
Okay.
Remember she called, we just
That's all it is. You guys are fine. So we'll get out of your hair on the Sunday morning.
Okay, because you kind of had me worried with that.
Oh, no. You're all good. You're all good.
All right.
So, Miss Craven, just let me know what happened.
Well, I've called several times. I don't know if the police department got a list of me calling, but he has dementia. He has it real bad. And he acts all right around other people, but when he get around me, he just tortures me, talks to me bad and say bad things, and it scares me. I get tired of it. He just blows my phone up. He keeps calling. I know you said I should have called the police when he threatened me with the knife about 2 days ago, but I just ran out of there. All I do is run away from him because I don't like his cussing. I don't like him bothering me. I don't like him talking bad to me, and I just can't take it. I'm 80 years old, and he's 81, and he won't stop. And the police have been over there a lot of times. Police said they think everything is petty and all like that, but they don't live with him. I do. But it seems like when I'm around, he tortures me. He won't let me sleep. I don't sleep at night. I can't go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom. He's steady knocking on the door. I have a room with a lock to it, and I try to sleep. He's steady knocking on the door. You want me to knock this door down and kick your ass and all this kind of stuff. He gets in my head, and he won't leave me alone. He has his doctor. I'm sorry. And he's got another doctor, and they know all about his medical records and stuff. But he's hard to live with. You probably met my son. He has autism, and he's just the sweetest thing. He'll say anything my husband tells him to say because he's scared too. I got all my clothes and stuff there. I'm just scared, and I had to hide all the weapons except there's knives in the kitchen, What had happened the other day, every time he go to sleep and wake up, he's not right in the head.
Okay.
And he thinks he has a bank account, and the only thing he get is Social Security. Social Security deposit his money in the bank. He pays the rent. And the rent is awful high. That's him calling me now. He said, anyway, the rent is awful high. So he don't want to pay the rent because when he pays the rent, he don't have nothing left in the bank.
Just to stop you, if you answer that phone, what do you think he's going to say? Put on speaker and don't let him know I'm here.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
The best I can. Dylan, what is it?
Well, you sound like you got to cry. What's wrong? Is something wrong?
Yeah, a lot is wrong. Well, what'd you call me for?
The police came by here. We were going to know what they come by for, and they were saying that, there's some people.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Why would you do it? You don't care nothing about us.
I do care about you, Dylan. You have a mental problem.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You're the only one. What'd your doctor tell you? Well, why are you not taking your medicine like Dr. told you to?
But I take it.
I don't see you taking them.
You ain't in my pocket every time I take my medicine.
The issue is that every time I come back home, you start it all over again. You talk about the money in the bank. You asked me, do I go and take money out of your account? And I don't do that, Dylan. That's because you took it out and paid the rent.
I ain't paid the rent.
You did. The rent was paid Tuesday. There's a receipt there. I know you don't remember because you have a...
Hold on. Which was Thursday. The rent paid.
All right. When you go over there, see, he treats me different. And when you all go over there, you don't do nothing because you don't see that there's nothing to do.
I want to focus our conversation right now on this knife thing.
He wakes up and his mind be all jumbled. He comes out of the bedroom, I'm sitting on the couch. You've been in my money, ain't you? You went to the bank and took some of my money out. And he tells me this 24/7. I said, no, Dylan, I don't know your account and I don't have a card. And yes, you did. You took some of my money. I said, no, I didn't. And I got tired of him telling me that. And I said, no, I didn't. And he looked up at me and reared at me like he was going to jump on me because I was sitting down. And I raised up, because I was going to try to defend myself. Okay, you want to defend yourself? And ran in the kitchen and got the knife.
Hey, so it's a kitchen knife?
Uh-huh.
Okay, when he got the knife, what did he say and or do?
Come on, you want to go? You want to go for it? We'll go for it. And he had the knife in his hand, and I ran out the front door. He tried to tell me don't go, and I went, and I came here.
Has he ever hit you within the last, you said about 3 years, has he ever hit you within the last 3 years for this diagnosis?
No, sir.
No? Okay. You keep pulling your arms like this. Did he do that?
That's how he stands, yeah. Come on.
And he moves them like that, and then he says it and comes towards you?
And I leave out.
When he had that knife and he was coming towards you, what did you think was going to happen?
He was going to stick me with it.
Do you not have any other family you can go to or anything?
Officer, I have 4 sons. And their wives don't want me there. They don't want, so they do what their wives say do, and they my sons. They don't come to my defense. They don't give me no money. They don't help me do nothing.
Did they give any reasons why? Did they say?
It's worth pausing here. Everything we've heard so far comes from one person recounting events with no other witnesses present. That doesn't make her wrong. Her fear is real and her account is consistent. But notice what the officers are actually building a case on: a verbal statement, a frightened phone call, and a diagnosis that cuts both ways. The same dementia that makes him frightening to live with is also the thing that may make him legally incapable of forming criminal intent. 2 things can be true at once. She can be a genuine victim, and he can be a genuinely sick man.
Anything why they
They
don't?
said they don't have it.
Not to give them the money, just you staying with them to run away.
Their wives don't want me there. They do what their wives tell them to do because that's who they have to live with.
Okay, I am gonna call them. I'm gonna call your sons. Can you just wait right here? All right.
Now they may be in church, I know, or either at work.
I spoke with Greg. He confirmed everything you said. If you don't want to go back, and I don't know what's going to happen after the end of all this, but if you don't want to go back, you might not like his wife, but you can stay there. I don't know for how long, but it says you can stay with him.
He told me I couldn't stay with him forever. That's what Greg told me.
And that might be the truth. But it's still a better short-term solution than the streets or going back home. I spoke with him about a lot of things. I confirmed what you had told me already. I also wanted to just make sure you had a place to stay. It's not really part of this investigation. I just also have a mother that I love a lot, and so I wouldn't want her on the streets.
It's the police department.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Alright.
I know some other officers came by earlier about your wife.
What is all this fuss?
We're trying to get some stuff cleared up. That's
Yeah,
all.
she was just trying to
Could
check
you just
on
come
you.
chat with this for a second here?
Man, you see what I got on?
I see what you got.
You want to come in?
Sure, we can come in.
Come on in.
Yeah, appreciate it. So, all right. So as of
Wait
right
a
now,
minute.
You're going to be under arrest, okay?
For what?
We'll explain that to you in a second, all right?
Take it. Do you have any weapons on you or anything
No.
like that? No?
What
Okay.
am I on this for?
For felony harassment.
What? Oh, can I get my shoes?
Yeah, we can get your shoes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Tony.
Is that your son over there?
Yeah.
She's so
And he's disabled.
custody.
Okay.
And we were put for.
Why would they have me for arresting? I haven't
We'll
done
explain
nothing
that in a
to her.
second. We'll keep walking this way, okay?
Man.
Ain't it cold out here?
There it is.
Supposed to left or right?
It's easier left. That way we're not going upstairs and stuff.
Tony!
We can get your wallet in a second, okay? We'll make sure
Am I getting arrested?
you are. Yep.
How do you feel about Dad?
The same way my mom do. Yeah.
What does that mean?
The two of them, they my folks' parents, and you know, it's the way how they struggle and continue to go on with their lives.
Does your dad struggle with anybody else?
No, not that I know of.
Just Mom? What about you? Does he struggle with you?
No.
Okay. Do you feel safe at home?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel safe at home with Mom? Have you ever seen any of them like fight?
No.
No. Okay. We'll contact Mom, and then we will. She'll come home.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Can I just get your name real quick?
Okay.
What I have to do to get out?
See you, Judge.
So I'm gonna be in here overnight?
Probably.
What if I call my
That's
attorney?
the side you want.
If I call
That's the side you want.
my attorney, could he come and get me out?
Probably not. You're going to walk past this door and you're going to go in here, okay?
About what time?
It's usually pretty early in the morning. Yeah, that's good.
What's that?
Well, we
You can go ahead and step out and I can help you if you need to.
I quit arguing, you know, I guess for the day.
Yeah.
And it been over maybe a couple of hours or more. And then y'all come and arrest me. How come you couldn't come and arrest me when we first started? Somebody done told her, call the police on it. Okay.
Good? Cool. So just step that way just so I don't hit you with that door. Perfect. Okay. And just walk over this way, okay?
So, go ahead and explain to me again what happened between you and your wife.
She ain't been there today. She haven't been at the house all day that I know of.
Nope, what hasn't happened today? I want you to explain to me a few days ago from when your wife actually moved out of the house, okay, and has no longer been staying with you.
Okay, she moved out because we got into an argument. That's all I can say. We got into an argument, and she left. If there wasn't no tussling or anything of that nature, because it wasn't even called for. It was just arguing back and forth. There wasn't no fighting.
So, at this time, do you have any statements to make about any type of weapon or any type of knife that was involved?
No, it wasn't nothing like that involved. Nothing.
Okay, so you're saying that you did not have a knife?
No.
You did not pick up a knife? You did not threaten or point a knife at your wife?
No.
Okay. All right, so the Smith affidavit says you declare under penalty of perjury in the law of the state of Washington that the following is true and correct.
Not that's in that report. I don't. It's not correct.
What your statement, sir? Your statement.
Oh, my statement.
What you said is true and correct.
It's correct.
Okay. All right. That you provided me with a verbal statement, and I made a recording of what you said, and then you give me permission to record the statement. That's true. Perfect. All right. We're going to go ahead and we're going to date this.
I'm not signing that that got on there that I had a knife. I'm not signing it. They got anything in there about me having any type of weapon. That's a lie. I ain't never.
All right, Mr. Dillard, print your name here and sign right there.
I want to know what's going to be.
Mr. Dillard, you can either sign that right now or I can take the pen from you. You can't hold on to it.
Now, wait a minute. I want to know. I'm signing, but you said something about a knife.
Yep.
And
this form right here.
That's a statement that you said that's in there. That's the statement you're going to go by.
No, Mr. Dillard, this form is for your statement, your word.
And this is the moment that should give us pause. A man who can't keep track of whether the rent was paid on Tuesday or Thursday is being asked to read a legal affidavit, understand a perjury warning and sign a statement that could put him in prison. Felony harassment requires intent, a conscious decision to threaten. But what happens when the accused genuinely cannot remember the act he's being charged with? This case doesn't end with justice served or denied. It ends with a question our courts still struggle to answer. What do we do when the person on trial isn't the same person who committed the crime?
It's not mine.
Well, I ain't said nothing about no knife.
Okay. Go ahead and hand me the pen.
No, wait a minute, man. Wait a minute.
Sir, you get an option either to sign it or not. You do not.
Wait a minute, let me sign.
Okay, good. You don't get to hold on to the pen.
This is not right, man. You forcing me to do something that I don't want to do.
No, I do not want to force that.
Wait a minute. Man, wait a minute. Let me sign.
Mr. Dillard.
Look, I'm going to sign. Why do you do that?
Because you do not get the option to hold on to a pen when I tell you that. Now, you get to read this. If you want to read this, I can do that without the pen. If
Okay.
you want to read that.
No, I got it.
Okay. Perfect.
Can I sign it?
I can tell you that I can let them know that you agreed and that everything is being recorded right here. That you agreed to the statement, okay?
No, that's not right, man. That's not right.
The man was charged with felony harassment.